Hey guys, Adrian here, and today I pose that eternal question that many artists online are going to face eventually. To post or not to post? Y'all know how it goes. You finish sketching something out for fun or just cause, heck, you took something you're not entirely confident in all the way to the finishing anyways. But then that little dilemma rings in the back of your head. Do I bother with posting it? Is it even worth it? Might not get any views either, so why bother? There isn't really an easy answer, and I can't exactly tell you what to do because you're, well, you. But let me tell you a story, and maybe it might help you make such a decision the next time you're faced with it. I know that this kind of may be more relevant to younger or less experienced artists, but it's still something that you face even as you get better and more conflicted with everything you have anyways. So, noted. About a year ago, I was doodling some Shovel Knight drawings, I think because I was getting excited about the Spectre Knight campaign coming along. Might have just come out even because it was first came with the release of the Switch, as I recall. Regardless, I was enjoying myself and sketched something of Shovel Knight and Black Knight both, and when I was finished, I had that thought. I'm gonna finish these probably tonight or even tomorrow. Do I even post the work in progress? And so I decided why not? Might be decent just to have them up there. So I tossed them both up on Tumblr and Twitter, and then decided since it wasn't terribly late in the night yet, I was gonna play a game for an hour and then come back and finish one of them off. Well, while playing for a bit, I had forgotten to close out of Twitter. And I glanced back and saw there were quite a few notifications up, which even today is really rare for there to be more than one or two, just how it is. So, I got confused and concerned because it was so unusual. I took a glance and right there it said a whole load of people have been retweeting and liking, and the stats said they'd already cost 1,000 impressions. Well, obviously something crazy had happened, and I basically terrified at that point. I mean, even today I might average 100 impressions on a post by the end of it. It happened that I had chosen the right time to look at what was going on, and I spotted a certain icon in the short list of retweets at the moment. It was Yacht Club Games' official Twitter themselves. Cue me freaking the heck out for what ultimately became the entire remainder of the night. Both individual sketches had been picked up and passed around, and at this point, they were more or less ended at 30 to 34,000 impressions. Of course, I planned to finish off at least the Shovel Knight drawing the following day and see if I could ride that wave again. But the next morning, I got a call to cover a Sunday shift, which was the first and only time that particular case really happened. Unfortunately, not only was there that, but in a rare case of finishing the night feeling epic, which usually actually puts me to a good solid sleep, I was in terrible shape the next morning. I had a blistering headache, and I think I only managed a couple hours of sleep that night. So by the time the end of that night came around, all the energy and momentum I had thought I'd have to work that day went completely opposite. Ultimately, I shifted gears since the work week kicked in the next day, and I didn't finish the Shovel Knight picture for a little over a week. And lo and behold, one retweet and just under 300 impressions. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere. Biggest takeaway from that week was if the whole thing you're deciding whether or not to post for is views, maybe instead post because you want to share what you did and understand it may just as likely go nowhere, but at least someone may see it. That said, that's not to say it might blow up later. As it happens, almost half a year later, periodically, one of the Inktober drawings I did last year catches a ride on Tumblr and rolls around for another round of views and reblogs. Since they're at least still there, someone must have stumbled on them and dug around, and it caught enough interest to give a second, third, fourth wind. As I think about it more often today, maybe instead the answer to the question is that doing it might at least have some value to someone else unknown to you. You don't know if that one post may become a catalyst that sends someone else's mind on a roll half a world away, or maybe be that last little push they need to start doing their own thing. When I started making these videos, probably the best example of it happening to me came to mind. Barry Kramer, formerly of Game Grumps, once posted a video about 3 years ago. Actually, I think the first for the Grump Outside channel, about doing editing in Adobe Premiere and how he put together videos for the Grumps. And at that time, I didn't have an explicit interest in doing video stuff yet, but I thought, hey, this might be fun stuff to know, and heck, I could learn something for later. Well, fast forward 3 years later, when I put together that first video, all of a sudden little flashes of memory from that honestly I think one-of-a-kind semi-tutorial video for that channel came back to mind, and actually came to help me get a handle on how to do this, what you're seeing right now. And so is one big argument in favor of saying, go ahead and post the thing. It might not give immediate results, or one that you're specifically aiming for. But evidently, maybe 3 years later, it might become a key part of the fuel someone else needs to get going. So in that regard, think about the long-term benefits of what you're tossing around, not just the immediate, like day, week long, immediate benefits or lack thereof. That all said, there's another solid argument against posting. And that comes in the context of curating a specific gallery for whatever art form or honestly whatever relevance you can think it applies to. Sometimes it might just serve as a weak link in an otherwise strong portfolio, so to speak. Or if you're trying to draw attention to what kinds of things you want people to follow you for, it could unfocus or weaken or worse, redirect someone towards a facet that you don't want as much attention on. But that goes into a particular topic and question that I'll address next week. Cliffhanger. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell below so I can tell YouTube that you want to catch updates when they show up. Till then, catch y'all next time.